Hello and welcome to the Greenburgh Student News Network. I'm Blake Feinstein and I'm a student at Edgemont High School.
Hi, I'm Armida Mojaza and I'm a student at Woodlands Middle High School. Today we're reporting from the historic Greenville Cemetery in Edgemont. Between the Edgemont High School track and a strip mall in Central Ave, it's a little-known piece of local history.
It was founded in 1842 and is still managed by the Greenville Community Church. Today, a local group of Cub Scouts is here to help clean and learn more about this historic cemetery.
Hello, my name is Aad Zeeuw. It's not a common name here in America, but I'm from the Netherlands, originally Dutch, and I'm here working on the cemetery. As it starts as a hobby of me, but I also do genealogy, so there are some similar things with that. So I got interested in what happened here, and since 2011 I'm working and cleaning up and do the things that are to be done. It's quite a bit because it doesn't look very big, but there's always something to do. Outside the gate there are two stones. They are there in the bush. I don't know why they are there, but people say that they didn't pay anything for it and they just buried them there.
Yay!
Yeah. And if you see here these stones with a K on it, that means that this is a cornerstone for the family of Custer. There's a K, there's a K, and there's a K, and there's a K. That means that this plot is for the Custer family.
Well, we always try and do volunteer activities every year with a group of kids that are Cub Scout ages, which is kindergarten through 5th grade. Outdoor cleanups are really one of the best volunteer activities we can do. You get the kids outdoors and they get them running around trying to pick things up or clean up small things. It's a really good activity for this age group. And then specifically this cemetery, because this is a local area that's deeply connected to the history of the community that they live in. And so before we started the cleanup, we talked to them a lot about that community and that history, which I think is helpful for them to learn about as part of their Cub Scout journey.
When it started in 1842, there was a church there, and every church had a cemetery. The church is gone. There's a mall now because the steeple was blown off the tower, and later the church burned down till the ground. So there was nothing else anymore. But that's why they built the new church on Aad Zeeuw Road.
In 1958, the Greenville Community Church moved down the road from its original location. Nonetheless, it still owns and cares for the cemetery, which has been an important part of the church since its founding in 1842. In the 19th century, Greenville was the name of a small hamlet, mostly inhabited by farmers and summer vacationers. However, current residents and non-residents alike are often confused about what Greenville actually is. More commonly known as Edgemont, it's officially a census-designated place, with its own school district, located within the town of Greenburgh. Making things more complicated, most of Greenville lies within the Scarsdale zip code, despite not being a part of that village. Now we return to local expert Aad Zeeuw at the Greenville Cemetery.
I was retired in 2011, and I came from the Netherlands because I was married with an American woman. And I was here for 2 or 3 months, and I can't sit still, so I asked the minister, is there something I can do? If it's not making minutes or something like that, that's not me, but something with hands-on and stuff. He said, well, we have a cemetery, and if you go there, have a look and come back to me and say what you think about it. Well, what I saw, I have pictures of it, so I would be able to show it, but it's not nice what you see then. As you probably know, we had quite a bit of vandals in April 1970 who pushed over a lot of tombstones, and a lot was damaged and a lot was shifted, and I found pieces everywhere, so we have to get it together again, and most of it is back again, so that's okay. But before everything was on its place, we had this thing, this roll. You might not know what it weighs, but it's granite, so it is pretty heavy, and that is now nicely here in, but it was not when we found it. This is hollow, so you say there would be a roll in it to make it a nice monument. but I couldn't find it. It took me 3 or 4 years maybe before I found this roll, mostly underground. You can still see here maybe what was underground. I found it at the bottom. As you see, this is a slope here, and this rolls very easy. So if you take it off and you push it away, then it goes by itself. And that's where it ended. I was happy that it was still on the cemetery actually, because a little bit further and it would go over the parking and on the Central Park Avenue. So we don't want that. We had a pickup truck and we drove the back against the cemetery wall there, and we rolled it in with a couple of shelves and other heavy metal material. We tried to get it on here. But you have to do it carefully, because if it rolls too fast, then it rolls over off the other side. So with 3 or 4 people, we were trying to do that, and finally it worked. So we were finished and we had a kind of victory. So we made a picture like that, and then we saw that park was on the other side. That was a problem, of course, because this is the front side, the other one is the back side. So we had to turn that around, and we did that as well. And again with four men, so we had to turn it 180 degrees, and it's now a beautiful thing again.
The first Underhill in America was Captain John Underhill, who arrived in Boston in 1630. He was a controversial religious, political, and military leader in 17th century America. A plaque commemorates him at St. Paul's Parish in Mount Vernon, which is a National Historic Site. Captain Underhill is best known for leading a colonial militia from the Massachusetts Bay Colony in the Pequot War of 1636, in which the native Pequot tribe was nearly wiped out by white settlers. Underhill was later banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony because his beliefs contradicted the Puritan establishment. After moving to what is now Westchester County, New York, he was put in charge of Dutch forces that killed hundreds of Lenape people in the region.
While Underhill eventually moved to Oyster Bay, Long Island, his son Nathaniel is known to have permanently settled in Westchester County, and various members of the Underhill family are buried here at the Greenville Cemetery. In fact, one family member, Gilbert Underhill, donated the land for the Greenville Dutch Reformed Church and its adjacent cemetery in 1842. The Underhill name can be seen throughout the Greenburgh area. The Underhill Tavern used to be at 350 Old Army Road and is now a private home. Underhill Road, a busy street heading from Central Park Avenue in Edgemont towards Aad Zeeuw, bears the family name, along with Underhill Street, Underhill Crossing, and another Underhill Road in nearby areas.
Another historic family buried in this cemetery are members of the Seeley family, who owned a large amount of land in the area. By 1922, the population was rapidly increasing, and the need for a local elementary school became very apparent. The school board bought land from the Seeley family and created the Edgemont School, which is now called Seeley Place Elementary School.
I'm just stepping on here to get higher so I can scrub up higher.
But our goals are outdoor education in alignment with the Scout law, which is, to be kind, helpful, courteous, all the general community-based tasks that we're trying to educate them on. And so with Scouts, we do campouts, we do outdoor education, so how to build a fire, first aid kits, how to watch out for things like ticks and poison ivy. We also do overnights at interesting locations, like we've been to the Intrepid to sleep overnight. Last year we went to Mystic Seaport and took the kids to see all of the colonial education that's there. And then in addition to that, we have this community development component, which allows us to do these kind of cleanups and a bunch of other volunteerism throughout the year.
I feel good about it being a Cub Scout because, we do stuff, that helps people and, clean gravestones. And then, some Boy Scouts, get events, like the Thunderbird games that just happened, where the Boy Scouts run something. And I feel like good about cleaning this.
Well, if you look exactly back over there on the other side, close to the school area, there is an Anderson buried, and he had a job by the school, and he wanted to be buried close to the school. And we buried him. Well, it was his ashes, so it was not a complete burial, but his ashes were buried with the stones of the other Andersons. See, there also a B for the Becker. Yeah. Sometimes you have something that there's a question mark on it, because you see here three persons who are buried here, and there is one there is no plate on it, so she might still live. Do you think she's still living? No, I don't think so. Look,
1909.
she's born more than 100 years ago, so she probably doesn't live anymore. Yeah, and there are more of these here, and these people they have decided maybe that they want to be cremated, or they moved somewhere else and were buried over there. There are several of these blank spots.
Hey Scouts,
Yeah.
something I want to bring your attention to when
Yeah.
you do start cleaning. You see this stuff? This is called lichen. Comes off pretty easily. That's the kind of stuff you're going to want to clean off as well. Okay? So you know.
So what you also see by many stones, we have
Right, listen up.
we have an American flag standing here. That means that is a veteran. There's someone. Do you know what a veteran is?
Yes.
Tell me.
There are two types.
No, I need.
There's a pet doctor, and then there's a
That's another one. Yeah, that's another one. But it's also a man or a woman who fought in the war.
Yeah, that's what
The
I
big
said.
wars.
It hasn't lived on.
These are veterans. And veterans who are buried here get a flag by the stone. So that's why you see here, and you see several, about 20 in total. Something special as well, you see this one here. This is a little stone, and that means most of the time that it's a child
What
who is
happened?
buried here.
There's a what? A child.
A child.
You can barely see the Wait, how do you know
Yeah.
it's a child?
Yeah, well, they have a lamp. That was a lamp, but they only had it for some reason. And I can also see on the dates that she was born and that she died.
Wait, it's a kid?
It's a kid, yeah.
But where's the head of them? How did she
Yeah.
die? I have a question.
Yes,
What is those logs?
that's far away. These are, yeah, people with much money, and they could make a big tower of them. And you see, yeah, some are broken, as you see. In 1970, there was a lot of damage here, and that one that you can see, we fixed it together again. That was broken, and we put it together, but it's not nice, but it's one piece again, anyways. If you walk around this tower, you see names on all the four sides. That means that the whole family was probably buried here, and that's the family of Lawrence. What I also want to tell me about this, if you see here, there is space in it. That means that this part, from here to there, was laying on the ground. One on top of us was laying on the ground somewhere else. So we all fixed that a couple of years ago.
Why is there a book there?
With that's my book, yeah. So it's still space, but this is heavy enough that doesn't blow off. But you see also names on two sides. Here are names on it, and that's names on it on this side. That is not very common, but yeah, they're buried here in the same plot.
Hey Scouts, I got a name over here you might recognize. Everybody want to come over here?
As you see probably here, there's a big stone of Harvey Dederer and his wife Margaret. Daddy was a veteran, as you can see, the flag, and his wife, and they had a son, Henry Jr., and he went to the war as well. He wanted to go to the war. So you see there's a flag as well, because he went to the war, and there was only one problem. On his way to the war, an accident happened and he died. So he's a veteran, but he's also not a veteran. But as he had intentions to be one, we still give him a flag. This monument, I think it's a beautiful monument. It's, but that was also, it was in 5 pieces. All these pieces, look, they're all loose pieces, and I found them all over the place. But I could recognize them very well because they fit very easy. But it's, yeah, that's something that has to be cleaned properly. But that's a hell of a job, as you can see.
What makes you interested in cleaning up the cemetery?
First of all, it looks much nicer, and cleaning up is something. Yeah, people can see names. It might be family, it might be far away family, and I got questions from all over America in the meantime, that when they see that their stones are readable, and yeah, I can send them the picture of the stone so they can see it, and they are very happy. Especially genealogy is very popular nowadays, so they want to add that to their system and yeah, make it complete. It's in the meantime, there is a lady, a Sealy lady, lives in Arizona, and her husband died, passed away. She has the cremated the urn still, and she asked me, "Can I have that buried by his father? He's buried here." So I asked, "Who is your father?" "Well, his father is buried over there." And I said, "Well, we have to find out what we have to do because you cannot just do that." And we're looking, and but our the minister said we're going to do that one way or the other. So it's going to happen, but we don't know exactly how. Of course, it's also the remains are still in Arizona. So, but she said she will come herself when it's done.
This is hard work, isn't it? Yeah, so taking care of a place like this isn't easy. It takes a lot of work and effort from a lot of different people. All right, everybody say thank you to Aad, please, for having us.
Thank you.
That's the guy right there.
Thank you.
Well, it kind of feels good to help the community. I mean, like, if we don't do this, who does? I mean, like, if we don't honor the people who fought for our rights, then what do we have our rights for?